Well, I can continue my journey. It's been about 3 or 4 hours to get the car fixed. I'm literally about 10 miles out of Brighton now. It's after 10 p.m, so I've still got 4 hours ahead of me, but thankfully, look at that, the oil, not the oil pressure, the water temperature's perfect. I've even got speedometer at this time, which is most unusual for this car. The guys at Westbourne Motors, they were fantastic. You know, they came to me at the petrol service station. They could see the water was squirting somewhere, but it was dark. We needed to get it on the ramp, so we recovered the car to their workshops, which is about 5 miles out of Brighton. And I was quite surprised when I got there. The place is full of classic cars, racing cars. They're all there was an Alfa Romeo and a Lancia Flavia and Austin A35s, all sorts of fancy 1950s and 60s. So, you know, just sort of classic racing cars. They've got roll cages and racing tyres, and you know, quite fascinating to see. So it was in a place that was extremely sympathetic to old cars. And that was purely a surprise. I had no idea when I got there. The place is literally in the middle of nowhere, out in the countryside, this big workshop. But yeah, they managed to find one of the new hoses that's put on there. It had literally flown off, and the hose clamp was gone. So either I didn't put the hose clamp on properly, which is quite probable, or the hose clamp failed, which is, I suppose, less likely. And the bloody thing just flew off, and obviously it must have been loose, because I did notice, if you saw the videos from last week, I'd lost coolant. I'd lost 2 litres. I topped that up, did a 200-mile drive on Saturday, and checked it again on Sunday, and it had lost 1 litre. So it was clearly losing, and then very, very quickly, coming out of Brighton tonight, it lost 3 litres, and I knew I was in real trouble, so I called recovery. But I'm back on the road now, and all is very well. Temperature's perfect, there's no leaks, so it was one that behind the cylinder head that leads onto the bulkhead, you know, what they call the heater. Honestly, they're an absolute devil to get to. So in all probability, I was struggling so much and just didn't manage to get it tightened up. But it never leaked before. We never lost anything. So that's why I'm sort of suspicious that there was an instant failure of the clip, if it literally just broke under tension. So you know, if I didn't get it tightened up a couple of months ago, because bear in mind I've done 3, 4, maybe 5,000 miles with that. If it had been leaking all the time, if it had been loose from the first moment, I think we'd have known about it. So that's why I'm sort of suspicious that it's possible that the clamp failed under tension. And then obviously once the hose sort of worked its way loose, then the clamp had literally totally fell away. But we'll never know. But thank goodness, you know, it was saved. If I'd have been driving at motorway speeds like this and not noticed it overheating, I'd have lost the head gasket. It would truly a catastrophe on an engine of this size and vintage. It's a real swine to fix. So we are where we are. You know, I'm back on the road, and I've got about 3.5 hours later than setting out. I've still got a 4-hour drive ahead of me, so I'll be arriving home about 2:33 in the morning now, but at least all's well. And I've done about 10 miles since leaving the workshops of Westbourne Motors, and it seems perfect. Oil pressure's fantastic, temperature's fantastic, and I've even got speedometer at this point. But that speed will go in a minute. The transducer is knackered. It completely needs either taking off and cleaning, which I haven't done yet, or more likely it just needs replacing. But least of my worries. And anyway, I'll get off, and I'll let you know tomorrow whether we get away with this journey, but I fully expect to.